What's up everybody, I'm the Mangoose, you are awesome, and this is another Call to Arms, where I ask Metabuff and Omega Studios to correct some of the things that went wrong with Paragon. Actually, this one also applies to Undying and Visionary with their games. What I'm going to be talking about today is keeping complexity in the game. Paragon started out with a great amount of depth to the gameplay. Passives for each hero, skill-based abilities, and jungle minions that posed a challenge in the early game were but a few examples. However, as the game went on, they started implementing hero kits with lock-on abilities, the absolute most brainless last-hitting system ever, pushover jungle camps, and entire kits that were designed around passive abilities. Complexity in a MOBA sometimes serves as a barrier of entry for new players. However, it's also what makes the game fun for those of us that devote ourselves to learning the ins and outs of a game. If there isn't a way to separate the wheat from the chaff, then you end up with shitty bread and a dead game. First, let's talk about the introduction of Lockon Heroes, mainly Murdock and Revenant. One of the ways Paragon took advantage of the Z-axis was having both basic attacks and abilities that had to be carefully targeted, thereby rewarding skilled aim. Murdock and especially Revenant took this away for no reason. Why was Mori's mark a lock-on? I know it had a shorter range than most abilities, but I would rather it be a longer ranged aimed ability. Why did 3 of Rev's abilities require no targeting on the part of the player? You could literally close your eyes on Revenant and hit somebody with his ultimate, Scar, and Obliterate all in a row. The basic reasoning was to give PS4 players some heroes that negated the need for the control of a mouse to aim. However, I know plenty of console players that had zero problem aiming. Yes, a mouse does have more control than a stick, but PS4 players seem to do just fine to me. Furthermore, no one from the console community was asking for heroes that had easy to target abilities. Before you get your panties in a bunch, no, I'm not saying that Mori or Rev were bad, or that they need to be removed or some shit. I'm just saying that they were a poor solution to a problem that did not exist. Next up is that stupid ass last hitting system. If you didn't stick around long enough for it, what would happen is when the minions fell below a certain health threshold, their health bar would turn red and you could execute them to earn your last hit. This completely removed any nuance involved in last hitting your minions for more gold. MOBAs are a game of economy and figure out how to gain an economic advantage over your opponents. One of the staple ways of doing this is by being able to better predict when an attack will apply the killing blow to a minion, therefore rewarding your aim, hero knowledge, and game knowledge all at once. You could always tell you had yourself a good ADC on your hands when they were snatching up them last hits. With the new system though, anybody could do it. At best it was a game of whack-a-mole, just waiting for a minion to pop red then hit it. At worst, it completely eliminated all skill and allowed you to just blast away at a minion wave knowing that you will get the last hit if you just keep firing. While this dumbed things down for everyone, it was especially noticeable for ADCs who relied on knowing their way around last hits to set themselves apart from the enemy. Off the last hitting topic, but just as important to ADCs, was that stupid ass multi-shot gem. The fuck was that? Who thought that giving everyone a constant low-key Sparrow ult was a good idea? I'd never use that shit on principle. Then we have jungle camps. The jungle camps on Paragon were an absolute joy, especially the monolith camps to be honest. It took skill to know how to rubber band in and out while kiting the minions around, all the while trying to maximize the amount of damage you dealt to increase the efficiency of your jungle clear. To be successful in the jungle, you needed to pick a decent jungler, plan your route, and pay attention to the jungle spawn times. They took this away from us too. Epic made the jungle so damn easy that any hero could go in and clear with little concern to their life total. Yes, some heroes still had faster clear times, but there was no danger to it. There was a time when you were impressed by a Grux that ganked mid lane with all 3 abilities available and the river buff with damn near full health. Unfortunately, they made that shit so easy that if you saw your jungler at half health after the first clear, you thought, the fuck happened to that guy? Did he DC in the jungle? I'm all for people being able to play whatever hero they want, but the jungle should be a dangerous prospect reserved for heroes designed for it, not a nature walk for supports to enjoy. Finally, let's talk about poor stupid Murdock. A once proud hero with an interesting kit that took some real skill to use. If you've never placed a strategic static trap, then pushed someone back into it and then drilled them down with basics, then I feel sorry for you. He had such an enjoyable ability set and it was reduced to 2 passives and an active. All you had to do was run around basic attacking, throw the occasional buckshot here and there, and whip out your long dong when needed. What a fucking joke. I had quit playing a few months before the end was announced, and coming back to this version of Murdock, it straight up hurt my soul. There were other examples of kits being dumbed down, but Murdock is the most glaring one. I'm sure there are plenty more examples of the game being dumbed down, so feel free to let me know what you think in the comments. Let's all hope that meta buff and Omega bring the complexity back to Paragon, and that Undying Games and Visionary Games start off with complexity in Ethereal and Phoenix Rising and make it stick. I understand that an overly complex game can scare away new players, but it's also what brings the true fans back day after day. If you like this video, hit that like button, be sure to subscribe now or you'll never find my channel again. This is the Mangoose signing off. You guys have a good one. Mangoose!